And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, business brokerages, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, and we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, we'd love for you to save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. Whoop. Wrong button. So we're going to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. Check out our website, consumerqb.com, consumerqb.com. Now, you can see all of our expert contributors, 80-plus show partners there, links to our expert contributors, their contact information. You can also submit a form. There's an email form that comes directly to myself and my team. And also the TV show version on WeBeam TV as well. The live stream version is available at consumerqb.com. And we've got Intelligent Talk Radio here, some intelligent folks in studio with me today. Back in studio, Mario Larrea, Mortgage Expert for MI Mutual Mortgage. Welcome in, sir.
Hey, Brandon, great to be here. I have I ran across an article I thought was pretty interesting about the top 10 destinations, and lo and behold, Tampa's in there. So I'll be getting into that and kind of explain how they gathered the data. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's always neat to see where people are moving to, and Tampa Bay, going to be on that list in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah, it's cool too, because I think maybe a month or so ago, we did one with the Tampa being like one of the top places for investors for residential property too. So, not only are we topping the list nationwide for investing in real estate, but also for people moving here. So.
Yeah,
great
absolutely.
Place to buy.
We did a show last year as well, the states that they moved from, and it was like Vermont was number one on the list, I think. Like way up north.
They're freezing to death up there.
Yeah, they're like come down to thaw out,
Yeah, I remember I went to Vermont once when I was a kid, and it was like -10 or something, and the doors of the car would freeze closed.
Wow.
I was like, this is ridiculous. I don't know how people live like that.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And we got Bill Blair making his debut on the Consumer Quarterback Show. RealTec Business Brokers, welcome in.
Thank you, Brandon. Nice to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, sir. Absolutely. So what are you going to talk about today?
Well, as I told you coming in, as much information as I have to share with your listeners, asking a broker to condense it into less than an hour is sort of like asking a college professor, can he teach a semester's course in an hour?
Yeah, right. Breaking it down.
But having said that, I'd like to touch base on some of the things that a business owner needs to know when he goes to sell his business and retire.
That's a big part.
Flip side, people want to buy a business. So
right.
I do both sell and buy.
That's awesome. Buying or selling. We have an expert contributor here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, has a lot of experience in this space, and we're going to talk more about that. We're going to dive deeper because a lot of times it's the things that you don't know. It's the questions that you don't know that you don't know, and that's what's going to get you in trouble, especially in the business broker world where so many businesses. I grew up in a family-owned business, self-employed with my father's business. All of my family growing up, they had a health food store, real estate companies, furniture and appliance store. A lot of my family was self-employed, which I love that that entrepreneurial spirit that we have here in the United States, and the best country on the planet, of course. And then when you look at it, a lot of folks work so long. They work 15, 20, 30 years or more in building up a business, but they're making some crucial mistakes along the way. We're going to tell you what those mistakes are here coming up when we talk to Mr. Blair, Bill Blair here, RealTec Business Brokers in Palm Harbor. And also with Mario, we're going to talk about the top 10 markets. And I got a couple of hot listings I will let you know about. Compliments of Platinum MVP Realty. We got an open house going on this weekend on Saturday over at 1024 Mandalay Avenue in Clearwater. This is a beautiful property, 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, split floor plan, and it's a beautiful property right across the street from the beach, so literally on that north beach section of Clearwater Beach, 1024 Mandalay. It's a beautiful buying opportunity. Reach out, PlatinumMVPRealty.com. And another hot property in Apollo Beach. This is another waterfront listing from Platinum MVP Realty, 6508 Bimini Court, Apollo Beach, 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, $690,000. And this property is over 5,600 square feet, and it's a beautiful property. This is a fisherman's paradise. If you're a fisherman and outdoorsman, you've got an opportunity to park your boat. There's no HOA, and you have direct access out into the Gulf of Mexico to enjoy this beautiful Tampa Bay weather. And we're giving a shout out to Kipton's The Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach. That's our official hotel partner. Kipton's The Hotel Zamora on St. Pete Beach is the first new hotel built on the beach in decades. Spanish ancestry meets cool Mediterranean attitude. It's a whitewashed Mediterranean palace with expansive luxury suites with balconies overlooking the intercoastal waterway. You have the Castile restaurant on site as well. So even if you're not staying, just go check it out. Have breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and they're going to take special care of you. Now, if you book a stay with Kipton's The Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach, you're going to have a 20% discount just by mentioning the Consumer Quarterback Show, the REQB code, and let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. You're going to get that great discount and maybe even a nice bottle of wine or something like that in your room. So check them out. Kipton's The Hotel Zamora, St. Pete Beach. All right, we're back here in studio helping you win in any marketplace. Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region's #1 consumer advocate program, all about you, helping you understand more of your daily decisions, whether it's business, finance, current events, health. There's a lot of ways that we can help you. Let's go ahead and talk with Mario here. So he's a local mortgage expert. We always talk about supporting your local economy, not these big banks that took the bailout money. You know, you can walk into those banks. They're not going to have the specialized programs that Mario has. They're not going to have the customer service. They're not going to have a lot of things that he's offering. But so let's jump right into it, Mario. What are you seeing out there? What's the pulse of the market?
I mean, we're still doing good here as far as appreciation's going. Rates have come up a lot this year. So I was saying that all last year. They were saying they were going to come up, and we're here now. So they're going to continue to rise from what everybody's pointing at. So, you know, they're still at all-time lows. So, again, it's still a great time to buy. Houses are still appreciating right now quite a bit. So it's a great time to buy. Why they still haven't reach the level where they're, going to start slowing or leveling off. Like right now, they're still going up. So it's a great time for mortgages, great time for real estate, and especially in the Tampa Bay area. And that's kind of what I was going to get into today. I was reading an article, and it linked to Penske truck rental. And I guess from 2011, they've been gathering data as far as the one-way destination. So what they do is they track the one-way people who are renting the trucks one way, moving trucks going one way, and then they compile that to basically show where people are moving. Wow. So, like we had said before, Tampa Bay, as far as, the people are moving to Florida from up north. They always have been. They will continue to. But Tampa's a great, great location, being that, it's not as expensive as the Miami, Fort Lauderdale's, that whole South Florida area, and, Naples and stuff like that. Those are a lot higher price range to get into than Tampa, and you have access to everything that they have access to as well, the water, the great weather. So it's we're lucky that we're here in Tampa because we have a great opportunity that a lot of people in the nation don't have.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at this list. The #1 on the list it says Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, looks like they've held strong there too. They were saying that they were 2015, 2016, and 2017, they were still #1. So I guess there's a lot of people moving there.
It's such a hub for business. You look at Coca-Cola, all these national brands that are
Home Depot.
Some of the airlines are there as well.
Yeah, that's true too. And
such a hub.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff goes in and out and through Atlanta too. So it's I would assume the property values are probably, I'm not real familiar with it, but quite a bit higher than this area too. But
I think the cost of entry is a lot higher.
Yeah. The traffic is terrible too.
Traffic, so. That's right. Yep.
But it looks like we rounded the list at number 5, and it looks like we were right there, number 5 in the nation, 2 years in a row. So, and it's actually the Tampa Bay area is what they're saying here. So, it's a great sign for us being here, because obviously the more people that are moving here, the more the values are going to rise.
Yeah. And it's only going to get better for Tampa. We look at that. We just had the NHL, the big All-Star game this past weekend. We had Gasparilla, which is a neat combination. And we had the director of the Tampa Bay Sports Commission, Rob Higgins, on the show talking about that combination. And the reason why they wanted to have that is to kind of expose the Gasparilla to all of those travelers from the NHL to the NHL All-Star. All the folks come in and check it out. So pretty neat.
Yeah, it is. And it's crazy. I mean, Gasparilla is huge, but, I wonder how big a national presence that it's known, like how many people are actually coming for it, because it's a great time,
right? Yeah, so that's a good combination to open it up and kind of get that idea. Get it exposed. Number 2 on the list, Phoenix was previously number 3, and so Phoenix is moving up the list as well. Interesting. Don't know much about Phoenix, but I guess it's still a nice.
I think it's a big retirement spot too, so it's kind of similar to us. They get a lot of retirees there.
That makes sense, absolutely. All right, stay with us here. More from Mario Larrea, our mortgage expert here, MI Mutual Mortgage. Support your local lender, your local economy here, the Consumer Quarterback Show. And also coming up, Bill Blair. He's a local business broker with RealTec Business Brokers in Palm Harbor. And we're going to hear more from our expert contributors we have also coming up on the show. So stay with us here, Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at ConsumerQB.com. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent here in Tampa, featured in Florida Realtor Magazine multiple times, Top Agent Magazine, The Business Journal. Also a published author and professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. We'd love for you to leave us a review and check that book out. Let us know what your comments and feedback is. We would love to hear that. And let's talk about our official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Mary Maids. Let Mary Maids take care of your winter cleaning. We know clean. Leave the details to us. They're bonded and insured, customized cleaning equipment provided, reliable service, screened and trained employees, additional services, and the same team cleans whenever possible. They are also the award winner of the Women's Choice Award in 2016, America's Most Recommended Cleaning Services. Mary Maids, the official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And back here in studio helping you win, Mario Larrea, mortgage expert, MI Mutual Mortgage. We have Bill Blair in the house as well, RealTec Business Brokers. And I want to talk to you about this as well, Mario. Trump's State of the Union address talked about $1.5 trillion infrastructure plan. We talked about this yesterday's show as well, but when you think about it, the trickle down effect, the money that's going to be spent, with the money here, you look at the investment in the country, the economic growth going into the productivity, and coming off that Tax Jobs Act as well, the Trump tax cuts. It really is it's a great economy that we're looking at right now.
Yeah, for sure. And that's as far as you and I are concerned. From the real estate point, it's just going to help us. I mean, and there's some concern within the mortgage industry of the rates increasing, and it's going to happen with the economy, improving.
Right.
But on the flip side too, there's going to be, the values are going to be higher. There's going to be more people being able to qualify. There's, jobs are already better now that he's been in office too, which that's just going to continue. So. It's going to be a good thing for us, even though rates are going to increase.
Yeah, the roads, the bridges, we've talked about that in previous shows. I want to bring Bill Blair into the conversation as well. Bill, comments on just overall the economy, the tax plan, Trump. How are you seeing that shake out in your business?
He's doing a great job, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It has broke my heart over the last 5 years to talk to business owners, sort of like myself with gray hair, that want to retire.
Right.
And what they don't know is that a business is bought on the profit that it makes.
Right.
And these guys would always tell me, Bill, yes, I'd like to sell, but I'm not making the money I used to. Now, how do you overcome that objection?
Right.
Couldn't when Obama was in. We are seeing it come up. What GDP is over 3 should go to 4.
Yep.
So it looks promising for owners that would like to sell their business in the next year or so.
Yeah, the stock market's on a run. I mean, things are looking great. Properties are appreciating, and even though the mortgage rates are increasing, they're going up. They're still a lot of times at 40 or 50 or maybe even 30-year lows now. So it's still very affordable for homeowners to get in.
Yeah, definitely. I remember when I got into mortgages like 16 years ago, they were all-time low, and they were like, 30-year rates were like 6.5. And people were going crazy because they're so low. I mean, we're still way below that. So people have just gotten a little spoiled here. I mean, they were pretty much giving money away, the past few years. So
that's right.
Even though they're coming up, they're still historically low. And still, I mean, it's very cheap to borrow money.
Yeah, it is. So we've got a strong economy. So let's jump right into it then, Bill. So we're talking with Bill Blair, RealTec Business Brokers. So as I talked about in the intro, it's so important for business owners to keep proper documentations, to have their financial statements, their business profits and loss up to date and current and properly performed. That way, when they do get into a position to sell, they have something worth talking about.
Absolutely. When people ask me what's the number one thing that I should be doing, anticipating that I may sell 5 years down the road, and I tell them exactly what you said: keep good books and records.
Yep.
I said earlier, I was talking about people don't understand that businesses are sold on the profit the business makes.
Right.
Let me ask your listeners a question: why do 4 out of 5 businesses don't sell?
Why do they not sell?
Why do 4 out of 5 not sell? Okay, on my website, I list 66 reasons why they don't sell.
Yep.
But today, I'd like to just touch base on the number one reason, and it's what you said.
Yeah.
If you don't have good books and records to where when you do your income tax, you can't declare a true profit that the business makes.
That's right.
You're not going to sell your business.
Right.
And the only way that you can determine true profit is through what they call a business valuation.
Right.
Now, you can go to companies that do business valuations. They'll charge you $2,500.
Yep.
I do them for free if I get the listing.
Right.
Let me think. Oh, on the website, and I need to tell you how to spell the website.
Yeah.
It's a very creative name. I'm a business broker.
Yeah.
But it's spelled I-M-A, not I-A-M. I am a business broker.
Yeah.
On my website, on the very first page, I give you an example of a business valuation and how you do it.
Yep.
We take numbers from a tax return that show that the business owner declared a little less than $500,000 profit. Well, you might wonder, gee, what do I sell the business for? We made $500,000 in profit. Do you sell it for that? No.
Right.
We do it a little differently than real estate, home real estate does, or residential real estate. You can run the comps for a neighborhood and generally come up with a pretty fair price that a house is going to sell for.
Yep.
In business brokerage, we have to have that true profit because a business is sold on multiples of profit. So in the example on my webpage, first page, the business owner that declared $500,000 profit, really doing the business valuation, pulling out non-reoccurring expenses, meaning they won't flow to a new business owner or a new buyer. Pulling those out, we come up from $500,000 declared profit to a true profit of 1.4 mil. Now that's a big difference. Okay, now the 1.4 mil is the true profit. How do we use that to come up with a price?
Yeah.
You use a multiple. Okay, now how do we come up with multiples? The multiples, as a checklist, we have the ability on our database to pull up the last 10 years that a similar business, I don't care if it's a pizza place or a sports bar, what they've sold for over the last 10 years, and typically we'll get 200 or 300 of them. The multiple that it's sold for is calculated. In Florida, the average multiple is about 2.5 times. Another way of looking at that is that it's going to take 2.5 years to get your ROI, your return on investment back.
Right.
So you start with a true profit, you multiply it times a multiple peculiar business, and we find that by searching sold businesses.
So an industry-specific multiple typically is going to fall within a certain threshold. So I like that. So it also kind of, as a real estate agent here, I'm thinking, okay, I see what you mean by the comps. So then you're going to the multiples for each industry, and you're looking at, okay, here's the range and here's the average, and so you're able to come up with a pretty close estimation of price point.
Absolutely. Just like a home, if it's in a better neighborhood, it's really been fixed up, good curb appeal, maybe a swimming pool, the price goes a little higher than average.
Right.
And same with businesses. They give us an average comp on 200 businesses. If I have one that's really in a great shopping center, if that's where they are, really clean inside, been in business 10, 15 years, it's going to sell more than an average.
Right. Yeah, so something that's maybe in a South Tampa, the Kennedy, the Soho area, versus something that's in, I don't want to say a certain neighborhood, but a different neighborhood. I don't want to upset anyone. But, yeah, so when you look at that, there's going to be a little bit better, places that you want to be at, and it makes more sense dollars and cents-wise. People are more affluent in the overall demographic. So, okay, so that's on the buying side, or the selling side. Now, what about on the buying side? There's definitely, something that you want to think about. We want you reaching out to Bill Blair, RealTec Business Brokers. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. By the way, consumerqb.com. You can find all of Bill's contact information. His phone, his email will be on our website. So let's shift gears. Let's talk about the other side.
The good news is I spent a lot of time designing or creating my website. So everything that I'll mention today is on the website.
Excellent.
And that's imabusinessbroker.com.
Yep. Perfect.
The easiest way 10 years ago to find a business was to read the Sunday paper. That's where they were all advertised.
Right.
Because of the cost of advertising today and the advent of the internet, you can find them on the internet. You either talk to a business broker who can see his proprietary listing, MLS.
Yep.
You can go to Biz Buy Sell. That's one of the premier on the websites, bizbuysell.com. When you find a business on that, it'll give you a little information and maybe a picture of the place. Call me. If you call the broker that listed it, you're going to immediately become his client.
Right.
And he then is representing both the seller and the buyer.
Transaction broker.
What's wrong with that picture?
Right.
If you call me, I'll find out all the information you want about the business, but then I'm representing you. I'm your buyer's broker. Okay. Secondly,
and a big point there too is that the listing side agent is going to the seller is going to pay the commissions for your side too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seller always pays.
Yep.
The second way, other than an internet site, and there's probably a dozen on, but Biz Buy Sell is the best.
Oh, let's hold that till after the break. We're coming right into our break here, Bill. So more from Bill Blair, RealTec Business Brokers. We're talking about buying, selling, investing in businesses and the economy here as well. Mario Larrea, mortgage expert with MI Mutual Mortgage here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. More from our expert contributors. We have our feel-good story of the week as well. Woman leaves jackets, sweatshirts around Pasco for homeless. And more from our expert contributors. So stay with us here. Do not touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, everybody. I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host, the Consumer Quarterback Show, Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate program, and owner of Platinum MVP Realty. We're going to help you win in any marketplace as well. We're looking for listings right now. We're looking for inventory. If you have a need to get a comparable market analysis, we would love to talk to you and help you understand more about the values in your neighborhood, find out more about the foreclosure activity, what's going on in the community. We'll be able to help you with that, pull the data, and let you know what's happening. PlatinumMVPRealty.com. Check out our website at PlatinumMVPRealty.com. You can do a search, you can check inventory, and you can also find out what your home is valued at there as well through the tool. All right, so in studio today we've got Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage expert, MI Mutual Mortgage. We have Bill Blair. He's a business broker with RealTec Business Brokers, and we were talking about Before we break there, we were talking about on the buying side of real estate, we were talking about, how to find a business and that you have a large database. And I kind of relate it to the real estate industry. Some people, they start their search, they don't understand it. And a lot of times they're from another country maybe, and they're just trying to navigate the waters here. But, there's right way and a wrong way to do it. There's an efficient way and a way that's going to maybe leave you open to overpaying and some other challenges there. So when you look at traditionally with real estate, people sometimes will just call up. They'll be calling off the sign in front of the road. They may be searching on some websites which has outdated data. The data is not up to date. They're wasting a lot of time calling on properties that are already under contract, already pending sale, or maybe even closed. So on the business brokerage side, how does that relate to your industry?
Well, I envy you in being able to tout some of your listings. We can't do that in business brokerage.
Right.
There's a level of confidentiality. No business owner wants the public to know that his business is for sale.
Right.
But what I said earlier about how do you find a good business to buy if you're one of your listeners? One is through the internet. The second is go to my website. I'll say that again. I'm a businessbroker.com. And I will allow you to search the 4,000 businesses for sale database in the state of Florida, from Tallahassee to Miami.
Yep.
There are 4 categories that you can look for. You can find businesses that are priced under $100,000. You can find businesses that are lender pre-qualified, meaning that the SBA lender has already examined the financial records of a business and has approved it. The
nice.
advantage of that to the buyer is you really leverage your money. A buyer only has to put down 25% on a business. If it's $1 million, that's $250,000 instead of coming up with $1 million.
Right.
All right. So lender pre-qualified is a category that you can click on. It'll show you nothing but the lender pre-qualified businesses. And lastly, for those foreign investors that you mentioned, they can click on all the businesses that would qualify for an E-2 visa that would allow somebody to come to the United States and stay 5 years. Now, if they got $500,000, we'll give them an automatic green card.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Let's analyze that area a little bit. Because immigration is very topical right now. With the DACA and the Trump plan, and so for folks to come from overseas, they're going to be able to qualify for the what you said, the
E-2 visa.
E-2 visa.
An EB-5 is used to be an investment of $1 million. They've reduced it to $500,000 now.
Okay, so they got to come in.
Immediate citizenship.
They get immediate citizenship. They're able to invest in a business, and it's going to help us, with our economy. For them, they're planting their roots here in the Tampa Bay, Florida, America, wherever they're going to settle. So that's a unique point. When people want to come into the country, what's the minimum barrier to entry? Is it the $500,000 that you said?
No. You can buy. I use a good immigration attorney. Generally, a good immigration attorney can get any business qualified. There's some qualifying standards that SBA looks at. And in addition to using an immigration attorney, you need a good lender, SBA lender, that knows how to process the paperwork and get it through. If I may, I'd like to just mention one other important point since Mario's here.
Yep.
Buyers will always ask, well, how do I get financing? And guess what? There is no financing. Only seller financing or SBA. SBA is the exception to the rule. And as I mentioned, in order to get lender pre-qualified, a business has to submit at least 3 years tax returns, and the lenders go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Once they're satisfied this is a good, solid business, they will pre-qualify the business. And again, the real advantage to a buyer is you only got to come up with 25% of whatever the business is worth.
Right.
Secondly, and this is an advantage to buyers in Florida, I tell an owner when they want to list their business, you probably are going to have to finance a portion of the business to sell it. Now, that always gets them upset, but the good news is, and I made a couple of notes here, the good news is for owner financing, number one, if you got all cash, what are you going to do with the cash? Put it under your mattress?
Right.
If you give it to a bank, you'd be lucky to get 2%.
Right.
Okay. Owner financing typically gets 5 to 6%.
Yeah.
the collateral that an owner of the business would hold is, if you're on a lease, you stay on the lease. If the buyer defaults, you change the locks and it's your business again, and you keep all the payments and the down deposit.
Yeah, so you don't even have to foreclose at that point because there's no asset to foreclose. It's your lease.
It's your business back. Let me think.
So that makes it really safe for the seller then.
Absolutely.
And typically, what are you looking at? 50% on
50 to 60% is what we like to see, and the buyer, the buyer and the seller will have a chance to sit down. And I usually tell the seller, "Hey, look, you're acting like the bank. If this guy doesn't give you a confidence level, you don't have to make the loan."
Mm-hmm.
So I also tell the buyer, "Hey, this is an important interview. You need to make a good impression."
Yeah.
And it usually goes well.
Yeah. And it's almost one of those points, and I have those situations arise from time to time with my real estate properties that I'm selling. And I always say it like this too. It's almost to a point, I mean, when you're getting 50% down, you almost really don't care if it goes through it based on, hey, you're getting their 50% of their money. A year from now, they default. You spend 10, 15 grand to foreclose in a real estate situation, not the business side. But, hey, that's a win-win for you in a lot of people's eyes. Now, the stress and the hassle. But ultimately, with that 50% money down, they're going to do everything they can to keep that deal in place.
They're not going to intentionally default.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a win-win. We're talking with Bill Blair. He's RealTec Business Brokers here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we're talking about ways that whether you're buying or selling a business, and I know you can't mention specifically your inventory, Bill, but let's give us a little taste. Can you give the listeners a little taste? You got maybe a pizzerias out there. You've got any interesting businesses on your books right now?
Well, ironically, I do have a manufacturer, and this is typically not what the average buyer might be looking for. Not only, and he's a retailer, he sells swimming pools, but he makes them. He makes the shells. So he can sell for less than the competition because all the other competition has to go someplace and buy the shells. Now, this obviously isn't a gunite pool. It's a fiberglass shell that you drop in a hole.
I might have a buyer for you on that one. That's interesting. You said
it's a super buy. Manufacturers, the multiples that I mentioned before, and you said a range, 2.5 times. Manufacturer, if they're making their own product, they get a 3 times multiple.
Nice.
And this one would have been the owner benefit or the cash flow, the profit, is a little over $300,000. So do the math. 3 times 3 is 9. I wanted to price it at $1 million. This guy's burnt out. His health is failing. We've got that reduced to $590. If you do the math on the multiple dividing it, the way you would normally do that is take the sale price and divide into it the cash flow that it produces, and that'll give you a multiple. And like I said, 3 times would be fair. I think we've got this reduced now. Let me look at my notes there.
Wow. So a pool manufacturer, and they also install?
They sell and install, and they supply the shell, lifetime guarantee.
Wow, that's interesting.
Oh, here was the notes on that. If you take $590 and divide it by 303, which is the cash flow, you get a multiple of 1.9. If you remember what I said, average is 2.5.
Yeah.
So 1.9, it tells the buyer, hey, it's priced fair.
Yeah.
Okay, but what you need to know, and looking at the numbers, the $590 includes a $200,000 building. Real estate.
Wow.
You deduct $200,000 from $590. Now you're down to what? $390. Divide that by the cash flow, $303. You come out with a 1.28 multiple.
Wow.
That's a giveaway.
What city is this in?
Pasco County, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, you look at that. You look at the business model, buying or selling. We want you talking to Bill Blair here, RealTec Business Brokers, local business again here. Support the local economy, and we're going to help you win. Avoid all that commission-based advice out there, and tune into the Consumer Quarterback Show. So stay with us. When we come back, we're coming into our feel-good story of the week and our final lightning round here with our consumer advocates. We've got women leaves jacket shirts around Pasco County for homeless. So stay with us for our feel-good story of the week right after this short break.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Platinum MVP Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. And former USF football player, played on the inaugural football team at the USF Bulls. Go Bulls. And longtime quarterback on our sports teams. Now we're quarterbacking introductions to our 80-plus show partners, all of the best that we have accumulated here. Expert contributors on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're quarterbacking introductions. We're also quarterbacking transactions for our buyers, sellers, and investors with Platinum MVP Realty. So check out our website, consumerqb.com. You can submit a form there, see all of our expert contributors, and make sure you save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. So anything that you hear on the show today, we'd love to, talk to you. Shoot us a text. We'll put you in touch with the expert contributors. Maybe you're buying and selling a business, thinking about it, putting your market property or your business on the market. Bill Blair, we put you in touch. Maybe you're looking at getting a refinance done, pull out some equity, pay off some debt. Potentially, maybe a renter looking to get out of a renting situation, being controlled by the landlord's rules and not being able to throw your cool parties and stuff you wanted to do. Reach out to Mario Larrea, mortgage expert, MI Mutual Mortgage. We'll get you in touch and make sure that we take good care of you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So let's go back to Mario. Mario, interesting show today with talking about selling businesses and buying businesses, as well as the market and the Trump plan to invest in infrastructure. So there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to the financial side of things and the overall economy. But we're back to the same overall theme of the show. It's like people don't know what they don't know. We want to reach out and have them understand ways that we can help them. And I think, specifically for the mortgage space, they don't understand that there's very low down payment programs out there.
Yeah, there are. And, this is a good time for people, too, who don't have a ton of money saved for first-time home buyers. I mean, the majority of people are going to be getting a tax refund. So,
right.
That's a good thing to rather than just go and blow the money, invest it into real estate. So it's a great time for people to start looking. But yeah, I get this all the time. People call in, they think that they're going to need 20% down. That's not the case. you can go as little as 3% down. In some cases, you don't have to put anything down.
Right.
If you qualify for down payment assistance, you know, they're offering money, and basically you walk in with pretty much no money down at all. You know, and there's other programs also that you don't even need the down payment assistance. USDA is 100%. So if, you know, Pasco, a lot of the area, a lot of Pasco is approved for USDA. VA is another one it's a great product, a great mortgage if, you know, for the veterans out there. You know, that's a 0% down as well. And all of those are government money. So the rates are actually lower than your conventional rates as well. So.
Yeah, you got, you know, so many options out there. You got the renovation style loans. We talk about those, the 203Ks, the home style renovation loans. Those programs will help you because with the lack of inventory that we have, sometimes there might be a nice 3-bedroom home, but it only has 1 bath. And these programs are available for homeowners or buyers to be able to, you know, make that home theirs, customize it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, a lot of people will buy houses and want to redo the flooring, redo the kitchen. I mean, it cuts down on, you know, the cash going out of your pocket. If you want to make all those improvements, great, but you don't have to pay for them all out of pocket. Or, you know, you can finance all of them if you want, hang on to your money, you know, and just finance it in. So it gives you quite a bit more options on what you can do, but then it also opens a lot of options on which houses that would suit your needs.
Yeah, it's such a great market right now. You know, the great place, Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, great place to live, work, and play. You know, the investment, the opportunity to, you know, let's face it, everybody has to have a roof over their head. They have to live somewhere. And the ability to, you know, take monies and put it into an asset, and especially when you can leverage, if you put 3% down, there's some 3% down programs out there. So, you know, 15% down or 3% down, you know, let's say it's $15,000, you've got a $300,000 asset that you're controlling now with just a very minimal investment.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is right now they're appreciating. So that $300,000 asset's going up as you're paying it down. Another thing that people don't think about who are first-time buyers, and I try to explain this to them as well, is, you know, let's say you have rent of $1,200 and you have a mortgage payment of $1,200. That mortgage payment's actually less expensive because you can write off the interest. So now you're getting, you know, depending, you know, obviously talk to a tax professional on that, but now you have an additional write-off where you're going to get a portion of that money back. So at the end of the day, it comes out to be a lot cheaper than renting.
Yeah, it sure does. So Mario Larrea, mortgage expert, MI Mutual Mortgage. Reach out. We'd love to talk to you and help you with that. Let's go ahead and jump into our feel-good story of the week. Every week, we're going to tell you something positive going against the often negative mainstream media. We're going to tell you something good right here, right now.
Tell me something good.
So a woman leaves jackets, sweatshirts around Pasco for homeless. One woman in Pasco is on a mission to keep the homeless warm this winter. When it gets cold out, Melissa Cohey gets to work. She is trying to keep people warm in their own way. Thought this would be a good idea. It's for anybody who needs it, anybody who wants it, not necessarily for the homeless. It's for anybody who wants to be warm, Cohey said. She's been tying jackets and sweatshirts around trees in Pasco County, and she feels it's the best way to make sure they get used. Over the last few weeks, she said she's tied at least 500 jackets, and she leaves behind a note signed with the initials BH. It stands for a volunteer group she started, Bright Hopes Pasco. It's a lot. It is a lot to take on, but this is what I want. I feel I need to do it in my heart. As the temperature gets colder, in a few nights, she'll be leaving more coats behind. Anyone interested in donating coats or jackets can find several drop-off sites. So there's our feel-good story of the week. Pretty cool story.
It's a lot of jackets.
That is a lot.
I mean, it's a lot of 500 trees, 500 jackets. You're tying them around. That's a
lot of time and effort and money and involved with that. But it's kind of how we end our show. You know, that random act of kindness. You know, there's so many great people in Tampa Bay. The volunteer side, the charitable companies. That, you know, we've had a lot of stuff with Children's Cancer Center that we've helped out. We're going to be bringing them on again soon. But we got a great community here in Tampa Bay. Everybody volunteers and gets their hours in. By the way, Abe Musa is putting together a Habitat for Humanity. So they were needing help this Saturday. And unfortunately, I got kids' soccer stuff. But anybody that wants to help out with that, shoot me out a message. I'd love to, put you in touch with them. They're going to be building a house with Habitat for Humanity on Saturday. So let's go ahead and jump into our lightning round.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning round.
All right, lightning round. Top tips. Nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Mario Larrea.
You touched on something earlier in regards to mortgages. One of the drawbacks of going with a big bank or the large banks is that's not the only thing they do. So they don't specialize. That's not what they are focused on. You're going to have a lot more issues come up. The turn times are going to be a lot longer. A lot of times people are telling me, well, I'm not in a rush. The reason the turn times are longer is they're just putting that many more hurdles in front of you. So you're actually doing a lot more work than working with somebody who is specifically devoted to mortgages.
That's right.
The other thing, too, is I have an array of products available. You walk into, a large bank. If you don't have a 640 credit score, they won't even talk to you.
Yep.
We can do things that a lot of those banks can't. I can do whatever they can do and more. So,
that's right.
Come in, we can sit down, figure out what, mortgage product best suits your needs. And, I have it available.
Yeah, and you didn't take any bailout money, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I could have used some.
Yeah, we could have used some down here on Main Street.
Yeah.
All the Wall Street boys took the bailout money.
Yeah.
All those big banks on the corner. Those are the people you want to avoid. They took our bailout money. They bought the best possible locations, and they patted their CEOs' pockets on the way down. So think about it before you walk into one of those big banks. All right, top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom, Mr. Bill Blair.
Okay, I'd like to clarify what I just said a little while ago about there is no financing to buy a business other than an SBA loan.
Okay.
Sellers and buyers both are always upset to find that out. And the reason is there is no collateral when you have a business.
Right.
What happens if you don't pay your mortgage payment?
They take the house.
Absolutely, and then they sell it. What happens if you don't make your car payment?
They'll take the car.
And they sell it. What would happen if a lender loaned money on a pizza place and the guy defaults? What are they going to do with a pizza place?
Yeah,
it's not collateral.
Send somebody down there.
That's
to work
why
it.
it doesn't.
Yeah,
that's why it doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a good point. And you look at, there's going to be a customer list in some industries. You're going to have some kind of a customer list.
Well, that's why it's so important that there's owner financing available in Florida.
Right.
I'd say 75% of the businesses out there under $1 million, the seller has to offer seller financing.
Yeah.
And that's a good deal for the buyers.
Yeah. Yeah. Real quick, we're running out of time here. We got about half a minute, but what do you see industries wise? What's hot right now? What's not? What's hot? What's not?
Oh boy. People ask me, what's the best business to buy, Bill? I'll tell you that, laundromats are a cash cow.
Cash cow.
You can't get them as often anymore, but lawyers, doctors, and attorneys used to buy it for their wives, so they just go by and collect the quarters once a week.
Yeah. What about mobile home parks? Right, those are pretty in demand.
Well, that's more bordering on
real estate,
residential, probably.
Yeah.
But it is a business, and they make money. I had one way back.
Get the lot rents and all that stuff.
If the business makes a good profit, it's worthwhile. Everybody has different interests.
Right.
So,
and that's what's great. That's what's great about it. You can say, hey, I'm retiring from here, and I just want a low stress, easy business, and so there's something that might fit with that box. There's something that's more involved. There's going to be more involved with the financial side. Yeah.
Well, usually people will have some kind of experience that they want to buy a business and use that experience. With a glass of wine at your kitchen table, you can go on my website and search 4,000 businesses. It'll tell you all about it. It'll give you the financials, everything you need to know.
That's right.
Like it, call me. We'll take it from there.
The wine's optional, right?
Got to be a Merlot for your heart.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, get the Reds. Stay with the Reds. All right, Consumer Quarterback Show. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Be kind to one another and be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.